All right, we are live once again. It is Monday, October the 20th. It's my son's birthday. I have a lot of things to be excited for, excited about, and we're excited to be here. My name is Benny Ferguson. This is a presentation of Consciousness Ascending. I channel the non-physical collective known as Abraham. I've been channeling for over a decade now, and we are excited not just to be of support, but to accelerate the process of your growth and expansion, to play a part, whether small or large, from your perspective in accelerating the process of growth and expansion for those of you who know you are on a journey of enlightenment that you can't stop, a path that you can't get off of. So this is the first of 5 live sessions that we will do this week, Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. If you're new, you find value in these interactions, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that you're alerted on any upcomings. Look to the description and see ways that you can connect with us on a deeper level, a more personal level, that to get a higher degree, higher level of support. If you're stuck, if you feel stuck, if you know you're stuck in any way, private sessions are perfect for that. If you know you want to truly accelerate the process, build your muscle of consistency, and have a full-time facilitator and community to access the Ascension Accelerator, is perfect for that. So, today, our topic is, what level of expression are you choosing? Brilliance is a state of being and then an experience. What level of expression are you choosing? Awesome. All right, what level of expression are you choosing? Conscious creators, have you realized that you are and can choose your level of expression? Level of expression meaning your vibrational expression, the frequency, the tone in which you are offering that ultimately is reflected back to you. This is one of those things that you play with in the initial to establish and build an understanding, a knowing that which I am offering vibrationally, that which I am offering emotionally, they all are tied together, gets reflected back to me as experience. Sometimes very, very quickly through those that I am in constant communication with, in close proximity with, and sometimes there's a little time lag, but it always is reflected back to me. And this is happening whether you have an intention or not. This is whether you have a thing that you're trying to manifest or not, because life is constantly manifesting in front of you. Even if you are doing nothing, even if you take a day and you sit still, outside, inside, on the porch, in your closet, life is still happening. And events, experiences will make their way to you no matter where you are, no matter how still you're being or how active you're being. Whether you have an intention or not, you still have intention. And even if you're claiming a free day, you still want to manage the frequency, the tone, the color of your experiences. And you can do this just by managing how you feel. Just by managing your vibrational expression, your frequency, which is how you feel. That is what ultimately is aligning you with the experience. And then you begin to put in there the relationships. Then you begin to put in there your experience of abundance. Then you begin to put in there health and well-being. But it starts with the color. It starts with the tone. It starts with how you feel, which is your energetic expression, your individual energy signature. And this is what we offer. We suggest that you play with that before you have an intention, before it's one of those things that you deem big or necessary or needed. until you get to the point where you no longer view experience that way. But before you begin to try to address those areas that are big to you in your perspective, important to you in your perspective, you need to play with just noticing how your feeling, your states of being are reflected back to you in the tone, in the feel, in the actions of others. Again, sometimes almost immediately, and sometimes there's a time lag. But the more acutely aware of what you are offering, the more you will be aware of how it is returned and when it is returned to you. So you want to begin to notice what you are offering, what your expressions are. And then once you begin to notice, you want to begin to choose. You want to begin to choose the level. And if you can choose the level, why not make it excellence? Why not make it brilliance? And notice how they are open-ended. These are open-ended ideas. These do not have a definite, specific type of experience tied to them, but at the same time they do. When you think about excellence, when you think about brilliance, you think about the highest, the absolute highest, whatever that may mean. So when you say, I am going to feel brilliance in my experience at the store. Okay, what does that look like? It may look like an excellent conversation with a stranger. It may look like you find the most excellent looking produce. It may mean that you find yourself in line in the fastest line. It may mean that you find yourself in alignment with the most excellent of cashiers. It may mean in the highest, in the most fantastic, in the most brilliant, in that energy, in that field of energy. And again, you may not know specifically what it looks like. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know what excellence looks like. You assume the feeling. And then you allow the manifestation of the experience to play out. You allow the pages to turn on their own while you are focused on maintaining and expressing the feeling of the type of experience you would like. No specifics, no faces on the people, no set in stone happenings, just an establishment of the feeling that you would like reflected. The feeling you would like to see as a reflection in the mirror. This is excellent play and practice. This is an excellent way to begin to build the muscle of understanding the inner creative process, understanding that that which you are expressing is returned back to you as experience constantly, constantly, constantly. Understanding what alignment means. If you want to align yourself with that which is most excellent and most perfect for you, then you want to express the feeling of excellence, the feeling of perfection. That's the only way you can align yourself with those types of experiences, is to match the feeling. And then once you know you are matching the feeling, then you begin to zero in on any ideas that are present within your mind and body that are restricting, that are conflicting with the types of experiences that you desire. And how do you know they are there? You know they are there because they will begin to present themselves as you hold that level of frequency with consistency. Everything within you that doesn't fit, everything within you that is no longer supported by lower vibrational expression will begin to reveal itself, because you are no longer being that. You are no longer in alignment with those ideas. So they begin to show themselves, or maybe they don't begin to show themselves. Maybe you just begin to see them. where because you were so close of a match vibrationally to those ideas, you didn't see them. You just thought they were you. But now you are playing in a new field of energy, ideas within you that were born of a different field of energy, a lower field. Now you can see them because you are in a different place vibrationally. And then you go through the process of interacting with your inner being, engaging your inner being to release those ideas that are in conflict with your new desired expression and experience. So number one, begin to play with a new field of energy, a higher field of energy, choosing your level of expression. And then number two is choosing the level of expression. Choosing. Now, all is creative, right? All energy expressions, all vibrational expressions are creative. From love to hate is creative. All of it. So you can play with whatever degree of energy you would like to. Benny has done this. Benny has gone to the store and established a energy vibrational field of love and excitement, and he's watched that be reflected back to him. He also went to the store on a separate weekend, and he established a field of frustration, anxiety on purpose, and he watched how it was reflected back to him. This was a long time ago. Undeniable how fast, and the stark difference, the stark contrast between the experiences. Playing with it, experimenting with it. Why? So that you can prove this stuff to yourself. Individuals can spend a lifetime gathering information, hitting and missing, never really stepping into their power, never really expressing their pure authenticity, their truth in source, never really creating the life that they actually desire because they were not consistent. Never proved these ideas of the individual creator to themselves enough to the point that the light within them and the push that it offers in the direction of that which they are inspired to be, do, and have got strong enough to move them in that direction so that they could see that it was possible, that they were capable, and that there was never anything in their way except for the ideas within their own mind and body. That's why it's important to build the muscle, play with these ideas, the understandings that you gain for yourself. Play with these ideas before you start trying to direct them towards specific intentions, especially those things that you feel you need and want. Because until you get strong enough, those ideas that you need and want, the dominant feeling expression is that you don't have them. And it's difficult to overcome that and to remain in alignment when the bills are coming every week and every month, reminding you of that position. So you have to figure out a way to build the muscle and get internally strong enough to offer a field of frequency, of vibration that transcends your current experience. So you have to play and build the muscle before you try to direct your attention to any area of life that you feel you need or want. Now, is it possible to shift an experience? Yes, it is. But can you hold that experience with consistency if you haven't built the muscle and developed the inner framework that supports it? Most of you have believed in broken relationship and have the dominant ideas established so firmly that it has been your normal, consistent experience for years. Most of you have believed in dis-ease and it has been your consistent experience. Most of you believe in some form of an abundance of lack and scarcity, and it has been your consistent experience in your resources. And you passionately desire to change your circumstance. You passionately desire to no longer have this experience. And the desire to change a circumstance is a focus on that circumstance. The desire to no longer have an experience is a focus on that experience. And if the passion you feel for your intention for the new experience is not bigger and stronger than the passion you feel in your desire to change an experience, or the passion you feel in your desire to no longer have an experience, then the dominant one wins. The huge passion for change, the huge passion to no longer experience, fuels with greater force and heat that which you do not desire than you are offering to that which you do desire. And this idea, the idea of the undesired, is dominant. Which is why we say it's important to build the muscle first. Build the muscle so that when you turn and look at those areas that you would like to change or transform, it's so strong. The knowing and the certainty is so strong within your being that you are creating, that which you are offering is reflected back to you, that your frequency, your tone colors your experience, and that you have dominant ideas within you that are connecting you to experience that you can change. When you have all of these things going for you because you have proven it to yourself and you have built the muscle, then when you turn to those areas that you subtly and you understand, okay, I'm releasing, I've let go of the passionate desire to change anything. I've let go of the passionate desire to no longer have an experience that I have been expressing all of this time. I've let that go, and now I am in mind and body purely aligned with my intention, not giving this any attention at all. Now you can explode the passion toward your intention and excitement and joy without any hint of a need to change or shift anything that ties you to the undesired experience. But this strength, this inner power, this inner clarity is developed by building the muscles first. That's why it's so important. Building the muscles, playing with the idea of your frequency, your tone, coloring your experience, seeing it, knowing it, being certain of it. Playing with the idea of choosing a level of expression. And taking note, observing the experiences that are returned because you are consciously choosing, as a result of consciously choosing. And stacking these experiences, stacking these happenings. This happened, this happened, I did this today, I was choosing to express this way, I set my phone for an hour, and every hour I exploded excellence, I exploded my expression of brilliance every hour. And I did this for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, for a month. And I noted down the types of experiences that I came in contact with. And there's no denying now, because there was too much for it just to be coincidence. It was too much. There was too much amazing. There was too much darn near close to excellent. There was too much perfect timing, unimaginable perfect timing for it to be coincidence. These are the type of things that you want to build into yourself, and no one can tell you different because you've seen it in your awareness. You know that you were choosing the vibrational expression. You know that these experiences were almost perfect matches. They made you feel exactly the way that you chose to express. And no one can tell you any different. Build the muscle. And once you develop that level of strength, that inner power, that inner knowing, and then you turn to the business you want to develop. Then you turn to the types of relationships you want to have in your families or intimate. Then you turn to the type of parent relationship that you desire. Then you turn to discovering and really breathing your passion and those things that you are inspired to be, do, and have. Then you turn to the level of abundance that you desire to create an experience for yourself. And you move quickly because you've built the muscle. You have a level of knowing and certainty of who and what you are. And you're excited to discover the resistance, the ideas that are within you that are separating you, have been separating you from being consistent in the field of energy that aligns you with these ideas, with these experiences that you're now intending. And you quickly are looking for them, observing them, releasing them, getting more and more in alignment with the experiences, with excitement, with joy, with acceptance, and with gratitude of who you have been and who you're becoming. Not frustration, not anger, not any of those fields of energy, but excitement, acceptance, gratitude. Those are the ones that allow you to move quickly. Those are the ones that just by those expressions alone, when you entertain past experience, they're disrupting the ideas. They're shifting the ideas, changing the ideas because you're constantly in a field of expression that is not the same frequency field from which the ideas were born. And so the field that you're in and offering as a state of being is changing them. Changing them. You're in a high level of frequency, entertaining an idea born of low vibration. That in and of itself begins to affect that idea. This is powerful stuff. And you are powerful. That's why it's so critical that you understand. That's why it's so critical that you go about this the right way, because you can easily get frustrated trying to take this information and point it to things that are still big and huge and important in your perspective, that you're still carrying a lot of frustration toward, anger toward. And then you're knowing that you are creating, you having an idea of it, and you're having all of this information that you're coming in contact with, and then you're turning it toward these things that are so big and important to you, and it seems like it's not working, and now it's been months and years. So now the knowing of this information, the knowing that you're on this path is frustrating, and the experiences that you have yet to shift or change are frustrating. And now the whole thing is turning on you, has turned on you. You want to be excited about knowing you're a creator, but doggone, I haven't changed anything. I'm struggling still. After all of these years, and this is not the way it's supposed to be. If I'm a creator, how come I haven't changed? It's turned on you because you're not going about it in a way that is most effective and most efficient. Now, many have figured it out, yes, but it may take a while. If you're at that point, If you're in a similar space, there's ways to speed up the process. We can get you unstuck. And there's also a community that's available that can help you accelerate this process. Not a lifetime. Can make dramatic shifts in 9 months, 6 months, a year. Be a completely different person when you're doing the right things and your awareness and your attention are in the right places consistently, and you have the tools to remove and release. You understand that you can engage your inner being to support you. Awesome. Again, if you found value, be sure to connect with us. Be sure to connect. We're here. We're here for you. If you've been here this whole time, then you are the type of person that we are excited to be in support of. So at this moment, if you have any questions, comments, anything that you would like to discuss, like us to discuss in the next few moments, just throw those in the chat and we'll take a moment with those. All right. So I've got my positioning turned a different way, so it's not showing me the chat messages. I see one here. Hi, Catherine. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's the only one I see. All right, so maybe it'll put it up. If anyone has anything, like we said, anything you would like discussed or communicated on for a moment, I'll take a moment. We'll take some time to discuss those if you have anything, and I'll try to make sure I'm not missing anything. Also, yeah, Catherine says there's always something I'm working on, but it gets easier. Yeah, knowing the process, knowing the process, because some things are challenging, right? Some things are challenging to when you become aware of them. Some things are challenging to reckon with, if you will. Ideas, especially ideas from childhood, ideas from tragedy, trauma, but knowing the process, knowing that you have cut into other ideas, knowing that you have released other ideas, knowing that you have grown and expanded as a result of the process, knowing the process, having tools, knowing those things is what makes it easier. And this is for those of you who are still have questions about those ideas. We know Catherine has tools in her toolbox, in her tool belt. She has things that she is working on, but she has grown tremendously over the past couple of years. Very excited for her. Anyone else? All right. So if there's nothing else, we are extremely thankful and grateful for those of you who have participated and supported us in the creation of this interaction. We're thankful for those of you who have found this recording and allowed us to be of support in that manner. Be sure to check the description for other ways that you can connect with us. We are excited for you. We love you very much, and we will talk to you soon.